You're listening to Forgotten or Forbidden. Read by Shest and Lila Jean. Written by Lila Jean.
Chapter 10. An Unforgettable Face. Another night falls over Hermitcraft, but Grian didn't sleep. He was too afraid of having a vision of his old home again. He used to be able to do that at will, dream traveling, that is. Now he could barely muster enough strength to make a small flame. But he must be able to make a portal. He needed to. If only he could remember. Etho awoke, sweat covering his shaky body. See, Grian wasn't the only hermit who was having sleeping issues. The ninja walked through the loud bass. The images were playing in his mind. That evil face wrapped ropes around his stomach and pulled. He shook his head. He wished he could forget. Now Evil X was back. Shadows crept around the corner of his eye. Swiftly he whipped his head around to see. Nothing? Ruffling through his chest, he found his fishing pole fiddling with fine wire. Maybe some fishing would help. Fishing always helped in the past. He got very sick of fish dinners back then. During the times he could eat. There we go! Looking amazing! Stress said, placing the 1000th leaf block that day. I couldn't have done it without you, Iskall said happily, admiring the branch they had brought to life. Oh, thank you! I can't wait to see when it's done. There was no response. Iskall stood, his back to her, staring off the night sky, unmoving, fixated on nothing. Iskall? Iskall? You going alright? You look weird. Can you hear me? She walked closer, cautiously. Iskall? Oh, sorry, I'm here. Hey, you want to see something? He spoke, but it was different. Like he was not saying those words. Or at least, he did not want to say those words. But it was Iskall. She could trust him, other than his pranks. Sure? The bee-man reclined, satisfied. His fire roared as he watched it from his cozy couch. No one was there, so his helmet lay next to him, the flames reflecting in the empty visor. There was a knock at the door. Gently, Exuma placed his helmet back in place and lazily walked to the front door. Letting out a creak into the quiet night, he opened it.
Oh, Etho, what are you doing here? Everything okay?
The ninja stood awkwardly, crimson rose in the tops of his cheek. Wondering the same thing, he rocked on his heels.
It's actually kinda stupid.
Wow, he was doing it now, Etho thought.
Oh, well, why don't you come inside and tell me about it?
X knew something was off, not just by Etho's pale and tired face, but the way he accidentally pronounced the word, like, stupid. They sat on the couch in silence. Turning to address the ninja, X noticed he sat very stiff, like he was bracing for something.
So, you want to tell me what's bothering you? Bothering me? You didn't fly all this way in the middle of the night just to say hi, I assume.
The ninja returned to his original way of life and didn't speak. Feeling the bee-man's gaze on him, he forced words out.
Dreams.
X cocked his head, still staring at his friend. What he hadn't told Etho is that they had more in common than the ninja knew, for X also, for the first few years of his player life, preferred not to speak. And even when he did talk, it took a while to talk at full volume. Sympathy filled his heart as he remembered the freezing inability to talk when engulfed in deafening shyness. He spoke, patiently, yet urgently.
Dreams? Dreams of what? A face. A face? Is it someone I would know? Whose face? Lex.
Etho surprised himself by saying the name. He shuddered, still facing the fire crackling softly in the background. The world around him disappeared as he saw that cackling smile. Fire enclosed his vision as the echoing memories were replaying in violent detail. He was back. That was a fact. I'm not safe. He's back. Something touched him, the pressure of fingers indented on his knee. Etho jumped at first, then calmed down when he realized it was X. Turning to face him, he saw a most unbelievable thing. Etho gasped. Exuma had taken off his helmet, fully in open view for Etho to see. He felt like he should look away, but he knew his friend was trying to tell him something. Examining his face in shock, he took in every detail that was fully displayed in the flickering light of the fire. He noticed it was almost identical to Evil X's, but softer and kinder, and the stubble beard that aged it much further than Evil X's, truly belonging to an older and henceforth wiser middle-aged man. It was much different than he theorized it would be, yet it was perfect. He had whimsical hazel hair that fluffed into his face, soft round features with big brown eyes that had sprinkles of purple in them. Speaking of sprinkles, sprinkled across his cheek were freckles in the shapes of different constellations. There was the occasional admin warrior scar that Etho was sure all had special stories behind the mark they left, but beside that his skin was a surprisingly evenly toasted brown. X smiled, seeing the amazement in his friend's eyes.
When you have bad dreams about his face, just imagine mine instead.